So the other day, I was watching an interview with Bon Chan on Born Free's channel. Shout out to Born Free, by the way. And he said something I've been hearing a lot lately.
ストリートファイター5っていうゲームはイージーゲーム
Look, I don't need a translator to know what he just said. This game is too easy. GamerB and Momochi also said this, and it pops up on the Street Fighter subreddit from time to time as well. And I mean, it's true, this game is definitely easier than Street Fighter 4. But where I noticed the biggest gap in terms of fighting games is when I decided to try out Guilty Gear. Now, I played this game a long time ago as a young and filthier casual. I thought it was sick. Sick character designs, sick button mashing combos, and fast paced. But it was only recently, as a less filthy casual, I decided to really try and understand this game. This was after I watched the grand final match between Doi and Bo and Kid Viper. If you haven't seen this match, I highly recommend you check it out. It's amazing with a dash of salt at the end. I'll leave a link in the description below. Anyway, I got Exarsign, jumped into the excellent tutorial mode, and holy shit. Double jump, invincible backdash, high jump, air dash, jump cancelling, red Roman cancel, yellow Roman cancel, purple Roman cancel, gold burst, blue burst, dead angles, risk level, just defense, faultless defense, blitz defense, stagger state, stun state, clash, danger time, instant kill state. What the fuck? This makes Street Fighter 5 look like rock, paper, scissors. It's funny because it kinda is, but I digress. Not to mention the combos you can pull off, which are very sick, long, and technical. But does this high level of execution and game mechanics really make a better game? Well, let's break this down objectively and personally. I think this all comes down to one thing: perspective. Now, we could say there are three groups of players. Casuals, who just want to jump in, choose someone cool looking, play some single player modes, and have fun with their friends. If we use the rookie to ultra bronze bracket for Street Fighter 5 rankings, this is the majority of players, about 75%. Then there's the professionals, who of course aim to be the best, most likely play for their living, and whose technical ability is far beyond mere mortals. This is usually less than 1% of players. Then there's the in-betweeners, those who are passionate enough about the game to want to be actually good at it, but not necessarily turn pro. But maybe one day, who knows, right? Let's use the silver to platinum bracket. This is actually about 24% of players. If you thought I'd be higher, sorry buddy, but most people just want to have fun. I got these stats from CFN, by the way. From the pros' perspective, they will definitely see the value in the game having more mechanics. This means more ways in which they can potentially defeat their opponent, more ways to adapt to changing situations, more ways in which they can gain an edge over their opponent, and more ways to show off their skill, of course. The in-betweeners, though, will be divided, I think, as this is usually a mix of seasoned fighting game players, like people who've been playing fighting games from way back, and those casuals who have decided to rise up. The seasoned players will welcome the challenge of more game mechanics to master. The up-and-comers will be happy that the barrier to learning the game isn't too high now. I think this is plainly obvious by how many more people compete in Street Fighter 5's tourneys than in the past. Record-breaking numbers at EVO 2016, hell, maybe it's the reason USA is actually able to defeat Asian players now. The major point I'm making is, Street Fighter 5 being easier has definitely expanded the tournament player base. Now from the casuals perspective, it's nice that casual players can jump in and do fairly damaging combos with a little practice. But let's be honest, true casuals barely even use V-reversal. How many will really take the time to learn mechanics of Guilty Gear's caliber? To its credit though, they do offer a robust tutorial mode. But I remember just being completely overwhelmed initially, and just went back to playing Street Fighter and MK after a day. Honestly, it was easier when I just jumped into arcade mode and started button mashing, being completely ignorant to all this stuff. So really, it all depends on the type of player you are. To a casual player, it won't really matter how many mechanics a game has, just how much fun they can have. While more serious players will want a deeper experience. I mean, even I think SF5 could use an extra game mechanic now just to shake things up a bit. I believe SF4 had a decent-ish middle ground between the two extremes. But hold on now, there's another perspective that we're ignoring. And that is from a spectator's point of view. Do more mechanics make the game more fun to watch? My answer to this would be no, not really. I'll explain. While I was watching the Guilty Gear final, I recall there was a whole lot of flashing lights that meant absolutely nothing to me. Sure, you can see that Roman cancels slow down time for a bit, but why were they different colors? Sure, I could tell the blocks were different, but only because of my fighting game knowledge could I understand some blocks were to create more space and openings between you and the opponent. But mostly, I just like watching the cool combos, man. Without an understanding of a game's mechanics, you won't appreciate them when using a fight. The reverse is also true, of course. If you know a game's mechanics, then you can, be blown away by how the player is using them. And even if we look at another popular esports title like League of Legends, we can attribute their success to, 1, the game is free, so it's very, very accessible to everybody who has a decent computer. And 2, it's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. This sets up LoL to have a large player base and a large viewer base as well, who will be able to understand and appreciate the nuances of pro play. You know what else is like this? Actual sports. They're free, anybody can pick them up, they're relatively easy to learn, but they're hard to master. So, is Street Fighter 5 too easy? Perhaps. Even though I still see pros dropping combos.
DJ Truth just answered back. Finds a hit. No, even a drop? When does that happen from Punk?
But if the past is any indication, I believe Capcom will add new layers to their game over time, while allowing it to remain accessible to casual players and attract potential new viewers alike. Because Street Fighter 5 is pretty easy to watch and understand what's going on. And I think overall that's a good thing.